I remember days when the sun shone, and laughter could be heard from the tavern.
There's my microphone. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another day, another dungeon. We don't need 3 Vestals or 3 lepers. An argument could probably be made for the Vestals, but that's kind of boring. The crescent icon in everybody means that there was a town event that everybody passively got 33% stress heal while they were idling. Well, there's no really good trinkets on sale. Well, not on sale, but up for grabs. I already have one of these. I already have one of those. I don't need a rat's carcass. This one's not bad, but it's a long champion mission, and those are kind of exhausting. Hell with it. I have a problem, so we're gonna do another antiquarian run.
They breed quickly down there in the dark. But perhaps we can slay them even faster.
Oops.
Ancient traps lie in wait, unsprung and thirsting for blood.
I'm definitely awake. I'm mostly awake. I'm more awake than yesterday.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. Annihilated.
I need to do something about all these bloodsuckers. They're usually more powerful than enemies that are actually found in the dungeon up until about like champion difficulty, so they're marginally dangerous. Oh, you're fine.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving. Be wary. Triumphant
Have some
pride
damn blood.
precipitates a dizzying fall.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike. As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made
I mean,
clear.
technically, yes, I'm always thirsty, but we don't need to talk about that on stream.
The blood pumps. The limbs obey.
This is a fairly dangerous combination of enemies.
A dizzying blow to body and brain. Great is the weapon
Swine
that
Tar
cuts on
can
its
do a lot of
own.
damage if he feels like it. But he doesn't always feel like it. He's kind of a random enemy. Mostly because he spends a lot of time doing trot retreat, which as far as I can tell does nothing. It just moves him back.
A death by inches.
There he goes again. I don't understand. What does this accomplish, friend?
soothed, sedated. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
I haven't forgotten, Grandpa. Oh, good. More of these idiots. Generally speaking, I find the sycophants to be the biggest threats in these configurations, just because they do a lot of stress damage with the thirst. The blight from predigestion is manageable, and I've, in my experience, gather the blood doesn't actually inflict Crimson Curse nearly as much as the thirst does.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Well, yeah. Knock on wood. But it didn't do stress damage. The point still stands.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Okay. Healers and support characters with bloodlust can be very odd. The idea seems to be that they become more aggressive, but when half of your skills are just like heal or buff, they'll scream about being lost in the throes of its ecstasy and then just
and driven into
bust
the
somebody's
mud.
accuracy. It's weird. I do always need crests, but it's too early to check any supply items.
The light, the promise of safety.
Obliterated.
Yes, attack the flagellant. I wish there was
Press
like...
disadvantage.
So the
Give them no
flagellant
quarter.
does a lot of damage when he gets low on health, but he doesn't really have any mechanics that are like, that let him get hit more often. Like, he doesn't have a self-mark, he doesn't have a cover ability. I guess I could do Protect Me on him, that might work.
Eradicated.
Definitely one of the more awkward classes to play. Definitely powerful if you can get everything going right, but...
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Some assembly required, I guess is what I'm saying. at how many Viscount invitations I actually have. Oh, come on!
Carelessness will find no clemency in this place.
That wasn't carelessness, that was bad luck. There's a difference. I would have preferred Torn Rotator getting taken off, but that works
The
too.
match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Decimated.
Like the first trap I got hit by, definitely carelessness. I wasn't paying attention. This one, I just got a high random number. Stop it! Tardif is not having a very good time this run.
Weakened.
He'll die soon. I can go ahead and try and get some stress down while I can. I would like it if we could get through this without an affliction. Those tend to make things more difficult.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
I hate leaving stuff behind, but I say that all the time. Okay, fine. Fine. More of you.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
Alright, so, Christ alive! This could be bad. It's probably alright. It's not good, but it's probably not the end of the world. Alright, 98 out of 200. It's fine. No worries. just trying to keep things under control-ish. Every little bit helps.
A momentary abatement. As victories mount, so too will resistance. In Radiance, may we find victory.
A moment of valor.
Alright, well,
Brightest
joke's on
against
you,
the backdrop
motherfuckers.
of
I got a
despair.
virtue.
A momentary abatement.
Going to try my previous idea of having the antiquarian use cover me on the flagellant and see if that does anything ever. Yes, yes, do that. Oh, fucking hell. Come on.
Precision and power.
You only have like 1 health left. Give me a break.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
We still have a couple rooms to go, and whatever this is. I think that was a pretty good result. In general, I don't think that those have positive outcomes most of the time.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
It's been a pretty good run for removing negative quirks, so... all in all, I've gotten pretty lucky. Various annoyances aside.
trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
That's not liquid! Fine, you know what? If you want it so much, you eat it. Eat the goddamn corpse meat, you fucking idiot.
Such blockages are unsurprising. These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
Alright, back to town.
Their squeals fade. Their confidence is shaken.
Okay, we've got some stuff we need to remove, such as off guard and... sickly's probably fine. Well, I should do it anyway.
We dug for months, years, an eternity. And we were rewarded with madness.
I believe that we only have one highwayman, so maybe I'll take on one of these guys. I guess I'll take on Sydney. His negative quirks are more manageable.
Elusive, evasive, persistent. Righteous traits for a rogue.
I would like to upgrade the Nomad Wagon eventually. It sort of has a bad reputation, but I find it to be quite useful later on if you're looking for specific trinkets. These are a really good assortment of positive quirks. I wonder what, Unyielding in particular is good on, Flagellants, because unfortunately, while Death Blow Resist cannot go to 100%, it caps out at 87, which is still pretty high. I think I'll go ahead and... Oh god, that's 10,000 gold. Whatever. What am I going to use that gold for anyway? Weapons? The greatest weapon is the mind, thank you. Alright, let's go to the cove, I guess. Dismas isn't Sydney, but it's close enough for him to get Dismas's head. I've learned my lesson. I'm going to take all of the medicinal herbs I can carry in a stack here. There's a lot of good curios that have positive interactions with that in the cove. Alright, torches, blood, food, shovels. We have all the basic necessities.
Recover these lost shipments of rarities, that we may prevent them from falling into even less scrupulous hands.
I'm glad that Grandpa at least acknowledged that he is not at all scrupulous.
Destroyed. Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Blanket fire is such an annoying skill. It doesn't do a lot of damage, it just... It inflicts a annoying debuff.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
It gets worse on higher difficulties, like all things do, what am I saying? Because it also inflicts damage down.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
I don't believe that there will be any stealth enemies on beginner difficulty, so... And if there are, I have tracking shot, so not a big deal.
As the light gains purchase,
I am so sick
spirits
of
are
you
lifted,
idiots.
and purpose is made clear.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Precision and power.
They're doing the thing again. I hate it.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Some guys will just target the same person over and over again like they're using some kind of strategy.
Decimated.
Disgusting.
Eradicated. Obliterated. A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Well, nobody got the curse. Can't complain too much. I can try. Turtle is having a fucking time. Might want to camp soon.
A fortune, waiting to be spent. Another mariner, another misfortune.
I think we're gonna have to explore both wings, which is super annoying. Oh, one sec, I have a phone call. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. Mom is, as usual, losing her mind. I find that my criteria for choosing which character to get a quirk removal tends to depend on how many locked quirks they have, because if they're not locked but they're bad, I can just remove them for a fairly nominal fee, but if they're locked, then they cost a lot more money. So, value is very important. Oh good, it's a fish stack.
Annihilated.
That is how I feel about fish stacks. Come at me, cowards! It's a bit of a waste, but I want to remove one action.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. As victories mount,
The Highwayman saying
so
I
too
never
will
miss when he
resistance.
crits is such a case of writing checks your butt can't cash. Don't fucking lie to me, dude. You miss all the goddamn time. Full up on inventory, so this seems like a good spot to camp.
A spark without kindling is a goal without hope.
We're due for a Viper attack, I'm pretty sure. But if we aren't, I figured I should use Bandit Sense anyway.
The way is lit. The path is clear.
Yep.
Require only the strength to follow it. Horrifying memory. Brought back into the spotlight by a tortured mind.
Unfortunately, tracking shot isn't in range. I should have thought of that. Oh well. It's fine. I hate how these segments have no music. It's really jarring. Fights against the snakes are basically DPS races. They can be a little bit difficult, depending. Like, the big problem, of course, is the shield breaker just getting stressed the fuck out.
Slowly, gently.
Fortunately,
This is
I
how
took
a
some
life is
measures.
taken.
Oh, you shit. It should be fine. I took some measures, I gave her a pep talk beforehand, so she should be fine. Well, sort of.
prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Alright, well. We got a new trinket for that, the Dancer's Foot Wraps. And various assorted treasures. The Aegis scales are useful. I will try hang on to those. I don't have room for anything else, especially since I need to pick this dumb thing up.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption. The match is struck.
Unfortunately,
A
when you
blazing
camp with
star
the
is
shield
born.
breaker, a lot of what you do is actually just undone by the fight with the Vipers, but You do get stuff from it, so it's not the end of the world.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
You know what, fuck it. We have enough invitations. We got 2 from the last run alone. We should have just enough shovels to get to where we need to go. The Viper fights are a little weird. They get progressively harder each one you do, and sometimes you need to be on a specific difficulty for it to trigger. I am unsure at this point if they can ever be like permanently disabled if you do all of them. I hate you all. Get out of my way! Alright, that's it. That's it. At some point during this stream, we are going to make an expedition into the Viscount's house.
Impressive.
And I am going to express to him my gross displeasure with the state of affairs.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
I spit upon your invitation. Mostly because I have, like, 10 of them. Fortunately, I know exactly where we're going, thanks to some earlier scouting. Regrettably, I can't use the shovel on that. I need it for an
Packs
obstruction
laden
later.
with loot are often low on supplies.
Go away. Please go away.
The ground quakes.
For those of you wondering why I'm opening up with tracking shots so much, is that in addition to revealing stealth, it also gives the highwaymen a pretty considerable buff for the rest of the battle. So, there you have it. Isn't the usual highwayman build I like to use, but it's sort of necessary for where we are and what our composition is.
A decisive pummeling.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Oh good, I kept my herbs. I like to bring a lot here. Between those and the fish carcasses, they're quite useful.
Death by inches.
Oh, I should have thought of that. Oh well, one of them was going to get barnacle barriered. I can deal with it.
Powerful blow.
I think you're both be
Great
dead
is
thanks
the
to
weapon
Blight.
that cuts on its own.
Excellent. Wonderful.
Ghoulish
Just
horrors,
dandy.
brought low and driven into the mud.
Let's just see if there's anything interesting in this hallway. There's a sack.
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the
Honestly,
foolhardy
I just don't want to
alike.
deal with more bloodsuckers. I'm just gonna go home. Tough is good. Love interest is whatever. Quick reflexes is very good.
A finely crafted instrument of butchery and bloodshed. Yours for the taking.
Hell yeah. When you upgrade something to its maximum level, you get a special sound effect that sounds vaguely holy. Have yourself a good time. I think Faded is probably one of the best quirks for a leper. just because lepers miss a lot. That's actually a really nice trinket for the jester, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one. It would cost a lot of money to upgrade everybody, so I think I will just go as is for now because it's a short mission and I don't anticipate too many difficulties. As is customary. We can pack pretty light on food because there's so much of it in the Weald. Though it would be quite foolish to go in with none at all. That is leaving a little bit too much to luck for my taste. So how's everybody doing on this fine Tuesday afternoon?
Corruption has soaked the soil, sapping all good life from these groves. Let us burn out this evil. Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
Stormflight again? I know it's not Aquapolis, it's the Lost Canals of something or other.
Decimated.
Uznare, right, Uznare.
A singular strike.
don't think I've actually... I haven't done one of those since release, for whatever reason.
Eradicated.
Alright, well... Zelen 2.0 the vampire is doing work. Nobody else can hit worth a damn, so I guess it's working out alright.
Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration. Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Oh nice, we got a jute tapestry. Those are really valuable. I could have used a bandage, but it is the flagellant, and he gets stronger when lower, so... Calculated risk. Not negligence, this time anyway.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear. The slow death, unforeseen.
Bulbous Maggot is definitely one of the least pleasant names in this game. That's not good.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
We're in a champion dungeon right now, so we're definitely getting to the point where,
Annihilate.
we need to start thinking a lot about how to buff accuracy.
As victories mount,
Zelen and Dismas
so
can do
too
it
will
natively. They don't
resistance.
need to do anything special or have a buff put on them. They have tracking shot and throwing dagger. But these other two are having a little bit of trouble. It's not a big deal with Frenda because she's the healer. And heals at least can't miss. Alright, I might want to pass this up because everybody already has 5 quirks. And all of these quirks are real good, so I don't want to do it with Hovel. Alright, I think I'll do it with Zelen, because most of her quirks are just like, I do good in this specific area, which really aren't that great. Oh, well. Maybe one day.
Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent.
This one could be difficult. Sort of depends on who they decide to focus target. Alright, it's Dismas, which could be good and could be bad. He can use Duelist Advance to... Alright, well... He can go ahead and use Duelist Advance next turn to get a riposte effect. Need to keep him topped off, though, so he doesn't get owned by Ren the
Great
Mark.
is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Like, he'll probably get owned by Ren the Mark anyway, but... Yeah, you really want level 5 weapons for champion dungeons.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
I'm just not doing a whole lot of damage right now. Okay, there we go. My healer could get a turn before they start rending again.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Alright, I'll sandbag a little bit because I really want Dismas to get some more heals in. Oh, fuck off.
By inches.
Grumbling forever. Well, on the bright side, we're done, so we can bug out whenever is necessary. Alright, I think what we'll do is we'll hit these two curios, then leave.
Driving out corruption is an endless battle.
The bright tambourine
But one
is really
that
nice
must
because
be
when you give it
fought.
to the jester, his inspiring tune ability is much more powerful in terms of stress reduction.
Can you feel it? The walls between the sane world and that home-plumbed dimension of delirium are tenuously thin here.
Definitely want to get rid of the red plague. That's a bad one. Alright, I was going to do the granary next. Honestly, I could probably do that right now with a couple of ingenious trinket swaps. Heirloom swaps, I mean. It's not a very good ratio, but I have a preponderance of deeds and not much to do with them. There we go. We have the granary now. Note the Shrieker Windbane. So the thing that the granary does is that you heal a little bit more when eating, and more importantly, you get some free food each week. Given that the granary only costs 2,500 gold to build, it pays for itself pretty quickly. Alright, we don't have a Martyr Seal, and the Martyr Seal is pretty good, so I think we should go try and kill the Swine King. Alright, so for the Arbalest, I think the Berserk Charm will do us well. We want more speed. She has a lot of accuracy to begin with, and this is only a veteran dungeon, so it's not a huge deal. And I can just offset it with a Steady Bracer. I'll just take this with me. I know I'm gonna run into bloodsuckers somewhere. We are really gonna camp, so actually I'm gonna go ahead and teach Sanctuary to Fassard. Just making sure my skills are up to date. See, for this we already have 10 food. So basically we can just buy 2 and refine, because this is the Warrens, and we will almost assuredly find food. Don't at me if anybody starves to death. Yeah. We should be fine without the Aegis Scales. I want to save those for something more difficult. And of course, anti-venom is just useful in the Warrens. Alright, I don't think I've forgotten anything, so let's be on our way.
My first attempts at summoning were crude, and the results disappointing. I soon found, however, that the type and condition of the host's meat was a critical factor. the best results came from pigs, whose flesh is most like that of man.
A nameless abomination. A testament to my failures. It must be destroyed.
Destroyed. Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Quite the by the numbers fight so far. Problem with finish him. It sounds good for the plus 50 damage versus stunned. It's just that the problem is stun is kind of unpredictable. Even if you successfully stun somebody, there's no guarantee that the bounty hunter will be able to act before it wears off. Its main use is actually just being able to hit things in rank 3.
Obliterated. Press disadvantage.
But that time it worked out.
No quarter.
How dare you, sir? His stun resistance is a little bit too high to really do anything with, so I'm just going to try and kill him. I don't understand that move at all.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Not bad. I'm still always a little bit leery of activating those. I'm pretty sure they can have some pretty nasty buffs. Debuffs, I mean. As promised, here is a shit ton of food. Well, we won't need any more medicinal herbs after we do that, so... Well, actually, I'll keep them just in case we get debuff problems.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted,
No.
and purpose is made
Okay,
clear.
good. We're getting a scout. I know that the boss is in one of these two rooms. I just don't know which one.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
Restring crossbow would have been good, but I actually want, Fitzlin to have reasonable amounts of speed on hand. It's important that she gets to go before, the Swine King, so she can clear marks.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Your wish is my command, but I don't understand. Books are scary. Occult scrawlings on human flesh are super scary. I hate you. I hate you so much.
Annihilated.
Honestly, the Hellion getting the Crimson Curse isn't that bad. It's annoying, but Bloodblessed synchronizes well with a lot of her high damage skills. I'm not 9. I'm almost 27.
The will to fight falters.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. Eradicated.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. The light, the
Alright,
promise
let me just
of
make sure I have
safety.
the right skills before I make a terrible error. I guess I'll get rid of Blind Fire. I shouldn't... Well, actually, I will need it. I have a Vestal, so Battlefield Bandage won't actually be a thing I need, I'm pretty sure.
It is a travesty. A blundering mountain of hatred and rage.
That's one of my favorite lines of his.
It is a travesty.
Oh, maybe Fitzlin is too fast. Whatever. Mark!
A singular strike. Soothed. Sedated.
Aha! Perfect. Well, actually, wait. I didn't even know that... I didn't know that ability could miss. Wilbur, you suck!
The thing is even more horrible than
I didn't even need to do anything!
Liquefaction cannot come soon enough.
He just died!
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. Ghoulish horrors. Brought low
Extremely
and driven into
underwhelmed
the
by
mud.
that. Alright, well that fight might as well have not happened. Let's keep exploring.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
I sort of murderlated him. But yeah, that's kind of why I considered the bounty hunter to be low-key one of the best
Slow
classes
death.
in the game.
Unforeseen.
He takes a little bit of
Unforgiving.
setup, and it can be difficult against enemies that take a lot of actions because the mark wears off quickly. But if you do manage to set it up like that, he actually just he does obscene amounts of numbers.
Slowly, gently. This is
Especially
how
with my
life
current
is
setup where he's
taken.
got plus 45% damage from trinkets alone.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
I guess we'll just keep exploring until I either just completely run out of space or something real bad happens.
Watch your step. Cruel machinations spring to life with a singular purpose.
They're always so surprised to see me. Yeah. Missing by one is always really annoying.
Nerves and panic.
marking compositions that are really good at just burning people down.
A momentary abatement.
A lot of them do include the bounty hunter, just because the mark synergy is so strong.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Ah, yeah, that's usually what happens. Worth a shot, though. Some other strong burn comps usually include the leper. It's less a burn down and more of a burst comp at that point, though. Like, alright, so there's this silly gimmick build that, one streamer used a long time ago to beat the final boss in what was basically one hit. Basically, what happened was he brought along a leper and 3 plague doctors.
And the pistol. A fitting end to my folly, and a curse upon us all.
Basically, they would just use emboldening vapors over and over, and the leper would use revenge. And the leper had a bunch of damage boosting trinkets for like boosts on Death's Door, like the Martyr's Seal that we just got. So they just buffed for like an eternity while the boss did its boss things fairly ineffectively. And then they whittled it down a little bit, and then they just did 167 damage in one hit, and it died. Not very practical, but certainly an achievement.
An increasing stockpile of curious trinkets, gathered from forbidden places.
More practically, though, people usually use marking compositions. At least that's what I've come to understand. There's also a couple of compositions that focus a lot on damage over time, where you just sort of stack whichever dot the boss is vulnerable on over and over, and they tend to burn through their own health really quickly because they get so many actions per turn. I don't really like the Holy Orders very much. They're kind of... It feels like it's only useful in very specific circumstances that you want to avoid anyway. I don't really feel like fighting the Shrieker. I think we did it like twice on one stream yesterday, so... And I don't tend to do very many dark runs anymore now that I have the Cartographer's Camp, so I think I'll just pass up that chance. Alright, time once more for leveling up lobies, I guess. I've learned the hard way that you always want to have some replacements on hand, just in case. I need to find some more trinkets that boost accuracy. I haven't run across a single sun ring in this entire file, and it sort of sucks. Whatever, just be a tank. Alright, this is a short mission into the Warrens, so we don't actually need to buy any more food. I told you the granary would pay for itself pretty quickly. And I'm sure you had no reason to disbelieve me, so I don't know I'm acting so smug about it.
To prosecute our war against
It's a
the
bit
swine,
random,
we must
but it's
first
definitely a
scout their
significant
squalid
amount.
homes. Curious
That was a
is the
90%
trapmaker's
chance!
part.
No, that's not
His
Dismas, that's
efficacy
Sydney. He just has
unwitnessed by his
Dismas's
own
head.
eyes.
I'm starting to lose track of whose head is whose.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Alright, just for that failure, you get to read the nipple paper. There. I hope you've learned your lesson.
Eradicated. Disadvantage.
I'll just
Give
have
them no
my,
quarter.
like, doctor use battlefield medicine and cure that blight.
Soothed sedated.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
Something must be done about this. I have had enough. Cannot continue.
Obliterated.
Annihilated.
Decimated.
This gives a pretty significant buff, I believe.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it. Another abomination, cleansed from our lands.
Can't win them all. Fighters at this point are very underwhelming. I say as I missed like twice.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. Begone, fiend!
As victories mount, so too will resistance. Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home. Such blockages are unsurprising.
I don't know what's in those medicinal
These
herbs,
tunnels
but they
predate
must be
even the
very
earliest
powerful to make that
settlers.
edible.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
%. Let's try this again. Attaboy. have a fucking trap, though. Jesus.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
We're in good shape. I think we can continue.
The light, the promise of safety.
Food sells for 5? I think it's worth more than the shovel at this point. Oh, hello.
The twisted faces of the damned, piled high and cloaked in malice.
This guy has such a cool design, it's just he's always such a nuisance.
Devastating blow.
Oh, he's already dead.
As the ghoulish collection scatters, the rats prepare to feast.
That was very underwhelming. I guess that's novice level collector for you.
Death by inches. Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. As the
Like,
fiend
you shouldn't
falls,
take him lightly, but
faint hope blossoms.
I don't know. That was quite the pathetic display. I guess it helps that I've been getting surprises on basically every encounter.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
No bully.
Slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving. Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Alright, I would call that a pretty successful expedition.
The twisting tunnels seem a little less impossible. Let me share with you the terrible wonders I have come to know.
The fact that self-flagellation is just sort of a thing that even these podunk abbeys have as a service for stress relief in this world is kind of funny. Marginally terrifying. The Berserk Mask for the Leper. It's okay. I don't have it, so I guess we might as well. This is gonna get expensive, so I better upgrade while I can. Please enjoy this sound effect. And there goes most of my money, but it's fine. The Heaven's Hairpin and the Berserk Charm sort of, they make up for each other, basically. Looking for more damage boosting trinkets. Problem is I don't have that many. Yeah, so this time we only have 5 free food. It's random, so you don't always get a ton. Still, it saves on money quite a bit in the long run.
To prosecute our war against the swine, we must first scout their squalid homes.
Ah, come on! That's just mean.
A handsome
A marginal
reward
improvement.
for a task well performed.
Scary books, don't look at them.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear. In Radiance, may we find victory.
I always like to find one of those when I still have holy water. Alright, here's a new enemy that fucking sucks. It's the swine Skyver.
Well struck.
This is why he sucks. He uses Cripple Them, which does pretty big damage to 3 of your party members, can inflict blight, and a significant debuff. Fortunately, he's dead next turn.
Exposed to a killing blow.
Champion dungeons do not screw around.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
They're not, like, insurmountable or anything, they're just... you need to be careful.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
The champion tier enemies that you run into are probably the main source of the problem.
Destroyed.
They are all very powerful and dangerous in their own ways.
Masterfully executed.
Dazed. Reeling. About to break.
Continue the onslaught.
Destroy
Them all.
Alright, who wants a negative quirk removed? I would have preferred Dipsomania to go, but Night Blindness was locked, so it's all good. I do plan to take this grave robber into the courtyard, and dipsomania is such a fucking liability in the
Finding the
courtyard.
stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home. Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Just think of him saying it like foodstuffs. That way it's still weird and pompous.
Decimated.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall. Inspiration and improvement. Mortality
Cripple them
clarified in
is
a
such a
single
nasty ability.
strike. Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Fortunately, with both the Flagellant and the Vestal, I'm not running low on healing options. It's just... he does a lot of damage. I would really like for him to die soon.
As the fiend falls, a faint
He
hope
died soon, as it
blossoms.
turned out.
Soothed.
Like,
Sedated.
the Swine Skyver is probably, like, the most unassuming of the champion tier enemies, but he is arguably, at least in my opinion, the most dangerous because of how much hurt he can put on in such a short time.
A death by inches. A momentary abatement. Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
The large flesh eater by comparison is basically nothing. Total punk ass. Not even worth it. No, I just threw out my holy water. Oh well. I just threw out my holy water? No! Of these two, I would say that the swine tar is the bigger threat.
A singular strike.
Like, neither are particularly threatening. But swine tar can, if the mood takes him, do quite a bit of damage.
Precision and power. Great is the
The
weapon
thing about
that
the large
cuts on
flesh
its
eater
own.
is that, it can only really hit one target at a time, and while that might do a lot of damage, it's not that much damage, especially at this point in the game. It also doesn't really do anything to impair your movement or ability to perform actions, so it's just kind of a block of HP.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
Oh, Jute! I'd better ditch something for Jute.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
What if I'll ditch the bandages, I guess. I'm pretty sure that there are actually no positive outcomes with the tentacle idol if you don't have holy water. So I think for now I'll just leave it be unless I can find some. Shouldn't have ditched it. Oh, come on! Alright, we're in pretty good shape, but we're nearing the end, so we might as well camp. If only to free up an inventory slot.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors. The light, the promise of safety.
For now, we should probably try to avoid fights, if possible. On champion mode, there's just too much of a risk for things to go wrong.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
best not to take on more than you need to, is what I'm driving at, I guess. We can at least see what this curio is. Oh, it's just a torch. Shuffle, shuffle. Though, regardless of what dungeon difficulty you're on, these guys are not going to give you too much trouble.
Eradicated.
Skeletons would have sticks, and big worms are just not high on the list of things I'm worried about.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Oh, God. Shit. A champion shambler is like the toughest fight in the game. Do I even have like a good party for this? I think I'm gonna run away. I'm sorry. I'm a coward. If this was like veteran or something, I'd totally take it on, but no, not champion, not right now.
The twisting tunnels seem a little less impossible.
We saw what happened the last time I tried to do something dangerous like that with a Shambler altar, and it didn't end well for anybody.
The preponderance of rare and exotic injuries makes this place perfect for the study of suffering.
Perfect! Since Treatment Ward is free, I'm definitely going to take advantage of it and lock some positive stuff in. I'm just trying to find the best ones to do it with. I have a lot of characters, and it's hard to keep their individual damages straight. We already have a Candle of Life. We just got that. Oh, a Sun Ring. I want one of those. The Sun Ring just gives you a flat plus 15% damage, plus 10% accuracy bonus if torches above 75, and that is a very, very easy condition to fulfill. Alright, we can show off this tambourine. I always get these two heads confused. Though there's really no reason for it. Money is largely a myth. should be everything we need. One of these days I should try to intentionally encounter the fanatic. Just see what happens.
I knew all these paths once. Now they are as twisted as my own ambitions. The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it. A time to perform beyond one's limits. Inspiration and improvement.
Signal Flare is another move that can remove stealth from enemies. So it has its uses, even outside of the Swine King fight. It was a pretty good buff to give it, in my opinion.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Is sort of taking a while because I keep missing. And again, so do they.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Necessary.
Prodigious size alone does
I
not
posit that
dissuade
it was
the
not.
sharpened blade.
This is new. Deteriorating Bracer. Plus 10 dodge if HP is above 75%, minus 6 dodge if it's below 50%. Kinda bad. I don't know how many blockages we're gonna run into in this dungeon, so I'm gonna leave that be for now.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
I'm not gonna bother to de-stealth this guy because he'll just kill himself on
As the
riposte.
fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
He's most foolish that way.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Not a lot of characters have riposte, however you want to say it. Probably because it's pretty powerful. I think at this point, not counting like mods and stuff, only the highwaymen and the man-at-arms have a reliable riposting effect. Gotta love it. I admit that it doesn't always work out that well.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Having a riposte-heavy team is actually a kind of a fun way to deal with some bosses that really like to spam AoE effects. Provided you can generally ensure that a riposte will go off.
Back to the pit.
It will do a lot of damage over time, and with AoE stuff, there's a pretty good guarantee.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
50-50 got the good result. That means I'm very skilled.
devastating blow.
Skill.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Alright, we fully explored this wing, so now we have to go through the arduous process of backtracking. I'll probably camp at the entrance or something. I wish that the random algorithm did not have this configuration in it. Because for explore maps, it's not like you can just ignore one of the wings, you need to explore the rooms. But exploring the rooms, it's time consuming because you have to backtrack. Nobody likes to backtrack. Unless there's like treasures or something that weren't there, or you couldn't get them before, then backtracking is fun. Here it's mostly just holding down the mouse button. Great. Alright, we won't be feasting tonight. Unless I find a food curio quickly. Oh, never mind. We feasted. We feasted.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Oh, we hella feasted.
A fortune waiting to be spent.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
It's your job, Jester. Don't be a dick.
The light, the promise of safety. Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent.
Again, I think we need to conserve shovels. There tend to be a lot of blockages in the field. A single hit on this fucking dog.
Annihilated. Precision and power.
video game dogs are always very annoying. Unless they're friendly.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten. Ambushed by foul invention.
We bring antidotes for a reason. We really don't need more food. If we get more than 3 hunger checks in the remainder of this dungeon, I will flip a table. There's one.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Well, I'm out of torches, but could be worse. At least I have a free inventory slot now.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Let me refresh chat real quick. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but it was probably fine. Multiple windows can be difficult.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
I sort of wish critical hits worked a little bit differently. Like, it just feels very strange when you get an attack that does, like, 2 damage, but everybody gets stressed out over it.
A death by inches.
A handsome
Like,
reward.
the fact that some attacks that
task well
don't
performed.
even do damage at all can crit is just, it's odd. I'm not sure why it's in there. Honestly, a second Trojan's Charm. I'm down with that. Oh, I can see that. I could see that happening, Zelen. Yeah. I do stuff like that all the time. Maybe I shouldn't criticize.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Alright, time to ditch.
Paths and roads bring soldiers and supplies. Let them arrive unharried.
Paradoxically enough, Mankind Hater is a very good quirk to have. You run into human-type enemies in every
I
dungeon due
remember
to
days
bandits
when
and
the sun
cultists.
shone, and laughter could be heard from the tavern.
Do we have Paralyzer's Crest? Oh, yes, we do. Okay. That's a good one. The class-specific, this makes your stun better trinkets are all pretty good. Alright, where next? First we check trinkets. Already have that. Already have that. Don't have that, but it's not very good, even though it's hilarious. Even his mustache cream has Eldritch power. Oh, the Ancestor's Pen, though. That's a real good one. Oh, but this one has another... This one has another sun ring, so let's do that. I'm kind of obsessed with sun rings after I got like 4 in my other file and I just equipped them on everybody. Who else do I want along on this expedition? Alright, we got a lot of Crimson Curse people here. Maybe if we're lucky we'll run into the Fanatic, and by lucky I mean I hope we don't run into the Fanatic. Alright, you get... Let's try out the Berserker Mask and the Sun Ring. See how that combo goes. What happened to all my money? I used to have a lot, but now I don't. I think I will have to bring quite a bit of the blood along with my cursed heroes. He still isn't showing up. I want to show that off at some point. These quests where you start with 3 bogus things in your inventory are really annoying, but we have to deal with them.
A decisive pummeling. Annihilated. Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Alright, I have a gesture, so I don't need withstand.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Decimated!
The sooner I can get this random garbage out of my inventory, the better. You don't read the nip slip? Start revving up that chainsaw. Don't have a great way to get to the back line with this group. Guess I just gotta cut through the swine reaver. Hulking swine tar. Oh, rude. Since the leper is out of commission, I just gotta keep stacking that bleed. So stack it I will. That's actually kind of helpful. There must be something to the swine tar's design that I'm missing, because I cannot for the life of me understand what Trot Retreat is supposed to do.
death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Get out of here!
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
So it does do nothing but move it back. I guess the question is, why does it feel the need to move back? Oh, interesting. Oh, it's you people again.
Powerful blow.
Eradicated.
This little fellow is starting to irk me. Well, he did. He will irk me no more. You're already in the back! What are you doing with your life?
Slowly. Gently. This is how a life is taken.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
I mean, granted, I guess I shouldn't be expecting literal pigmen to be that intelligent, but you'd think. I don't know what you'd think. I don't know what to think. I can't think of a better place to camp.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
Oh, that's a good one to get. I can sell that for quite a bit. We might get an ambush here, but I'm confident we can handle it.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Wasn't even a thing. gonna need to resupply on busts, so I guess I'll switch those out. Oh, for fuck's sake, have some goddamn blood.
Such blockages are unsurprising. These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
Life. So gross. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like pigs in general. I think they're cute. And they're also quite smart. But this particular pig, I would appreciate it if he would go away somewhere far that is not here. Fine.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Love to waste turn.
A death by inches.
Die, please.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
The old 1 HP left routine. I hate it. Should not be, but it is.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms. Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles. Paid for in
Alright,
blood.
I can ditch one blood. I will get more than that from my weekly. It's fine. Nom 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 nom. The way you just shotgun food down like that always amuses me a little bit. Oh, now he must have the blood. Fine. You may have the blood. Alright, we have plenty of supplies, so I'm going to keep exploring for a bit. We have the antiquarian with us, so even minor curios can be majorly profitable. Not the Nipslook, though. That's just a bad time for everybody.
precision and power.
Same! Next time I do something totally inexplicable and weird, I'm just gonna scream, I am the blood god.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
We can probably get rid of the shovels. If we encounter another obstruction, we should just leave.
The light, the promise of safety.
Woo, treasure.
Back to the pit. Executed with impunity. Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
Slightly larger than average insects are not particularly fearsome.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted and purpose is made clear.
Impressive. Masterfully executed.
Okay, that works. If you get a huge crit every time you're lost in the throes of its ecstasy, then be lost in the throes of its ecstasy as long as you want.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Well, you know,
Disadvantage.
Grandpa,
them no
I love
quarter.
blood. So to me, it is a virtue.
This expedition at least promises success. Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Okay, that's quite the haul. I think we should probably leave. I wonder what he's guilty about. I screamed about being the blood god and now I'm embarrassed.
The twisting tunnels no longer exhale the toxic stench of degeneracy.
Well, we were just there. But we do have the Warren's buff. Or maybe we should just get the fucking dead rat for the sake of completion. I don't know. If it was a better trinket than the coat, I would probably do the long one. The upcoming boss is probably one of the harder ones, at least in my opinion. So I'll probably try to try to save my supply items for the actual fight and then go looting afterwards.
I could not store such a prodigious amount of offal, nor could I rid myself of it easily, possessed as it was by unnameable things from outer spheres. When excavations beneath the manor broke through into an ancient network of aqueducts and tunnels, I knew I had found a solution to the problem of disposal.
Ever the pragmatist in his eldritch endeavors, that
The
grandpa
thing
of
is more
ours.
terrible than I can describe. An incoherent jumble of organ, sinew, and bone.
Alright, it never takes too long to find the Warren's boss, but it can be kind of a toss-up if you don't get a good scout. I'm not sure if I've talked about it in depth or not, but,
Decimated.
there are several different classes that can mark in this game, and they all are slightly unique in their function. The Arbalist and the Occultist can mark, and the mark inflicts a debuff that gives an enemy minus, like, 20 or so dodge, which is useful. The Bounty Hunter and the Houndmaster, however, have the marking debuff that gives an enemy minus like 25% protection, which is even better, and makes them worth bringing along even in compositions where marking kind of isn't a thing that you're doing.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
There are other classes that can mark enemies. There's probably one
Their
at least that I'm
formation is
missing.
broken. Maintain the
The
offensive.
leper, the crusader, and the men-at-arms can
Impressive
mark
haul.
themselves, but it doesn't give them a
If you
debuff.
value such things.
There are also
As
a bunch
the
of
light
heroes
gains
that
purchase,
have
Spirits
skills
are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
that I'm so enraged by the sight of these insects that have skills that benefit from marks but can't do markings themselves. Examples include the Highwayman and the Grave Robber.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Throwing Dagger and Pistol Shot both benefit from marks. Not as much as the skills of dedicated Markipliers. Oh my god. What did I just say? Alright, so... I need to find a better term for that. Mark inflictors. Let's say that. Mark inflictors.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
I'm not really. Like, okay, so I do actually like watching some of his older stuff when he played back when he first started and like was doing just obscure horror games and stuff. I liked watching him then because I don't know, I found him to be kind of charming in a very goofy way. I haven't watched any of his recent stuff, and I know that he's sort of become a celebrity, so I'm not as interested anymore.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Also, I did look it up, and when we found that weird-looking doll in Subnautica, that was in fact Markiplier. Because that was... a lot of the initial publicity from that game came from one of his streams of it, I think. No, don't read the nipple paper. Did that do anything? I'm not sure that did anything. Maybe it like inflicted a disease, but since she has the Crimson Curse, she can't get diseases? I'm not sure. That was weird. Oh my god, stop.
struck.
Whatever, I'll just hack away at this thing.
Destroyed. Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
This has no protection. I guess I'll just stun it.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
This expedition at least promises success.
Great. It's a toss-up between this room and that room. I guess I'll camp now and sort it out in the morning.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
Everybody is actually at 0 stress, so there's no reason to have a feast. I guess that increases my operational time.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
I guess just pick a direction and see what's what.
The match is struck. A blazing
door number
star
1.
is born.
Random assholes. Great.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
I feel like I might be missing something about Hound's Harry. That just never seems that good.
Dazed, reeling, about to break.
Like, there are a couple of trinket interactions that make applying bleed to everything kinda good. I don't know, the damage is just so
The
marginal.
slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving. Wow. Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
that's sort of embarrassing. Can't hit
Her
rank 3.
death by inches.
Alright, I guess we could toss the sapphire. I mean, not the... Word M hard. Okay.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require
we
only
know where
the
we're going
strength
now.
to follow it.
Change that for this real quick. Actually, I think I want both of these skills. Bleeding is very effective against the enjoyed flesh.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Yeah, if only. If only my backpack had more than 24 slots. Wait, no. Yeah? No, 16. No? Why am I so bad at math all of a sudden? 16 slots.
The light, the promise of safety.
I fear the horror of this place is starting to affect me.
Squirming, contorting, and ever expanding. This horror must be unmade.
Alright, so this is a bad configuration for this gross motherfucker. Basically, you want to attack the part with the lowest amount of protection. All of his offensive moves can inflict a status effect, so holy water to boost your resistances is a good idea.
The blood quickens.
Hound's Harry is good, pretty much exclusive. Oh, that's an interesting configuration. Hound's Harry is pretty good against this boss because there's always 4 targets.
A singular strike.
But there's definitely something to be said for just focusing on one part and leaving the rest be. Basically, whenever there is a vein configuration present, you want to focus on that. They have the lowest protection. You can't really focus down specific parts, of course, but lovely. Marking is also fairly ineffective here.
A decisive pummeling.
Compassion is a rarity
Just
in the
'cause
fevered pitch
Shit
of
keeps
battle.
changing, and sometimes the thing that you wanted to hit won't be hit.
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
unnerved,
Christ!
unbalanced.
Hang in there, Houndmaster. Alright, well this is fairly unthreatening.
Devastating blow.
Alright, well, crisis averted for now. Getting lots of heart configurations like this is annoying, because it prolongs the fight, but it's not that big of a deal. You should be able to do much more damage to them than they can do to you.
It is as grotesque in death as it was in life.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Alright, well, we're sort of in rough shape, so I think I'll just collect the loot from this fight and head on home. I find that boss to be pretty difficult compared to the other ones, because there's not really a good way to just deal with it. It's kind of random.
The plume and the pistol. A fitting end to my folly, and a curse upon us all.
Oh, I haven't upgraded this place at all. Should fix that.
Gilded icons and dogmatic rituals. For some, a tonic against the bloodshed. Strong drink, a game of chance, and companionship. The rush of life.
It's like, I got all these heirlooms that I don't have much to spend on anymore, because most of my important shit is upgraded, so I guess I might as well.
All manner of diversion and dalliance await those who cross the threshold with coin in hand.
Alright, I guess it's time. No, not yet. I still need to fix dipsomania. I guess we should just do a short one since it's coming up on time. Okay, that's enough of that noise for a while. Short mission in the wheel. Don't need too much food. Yeah, that should do it. I have blood to make sure nobody dies an embarrassing and unfortunate death of starvation.
I knew all these paths once. Now they are as twisted as my own ambitions. Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent. Singular strike.
confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Sorry, running out of steam a little bit here at the end.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter. Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
One of the definitely valid complaints about this game is that after, like, you start establishing yourself and things start to become routine, it does become a bit of a grind from, like, the mid-game to the end of the game. But the Crimson Cord is
In
fixed,
Radiance, may we find
has made
victory.
that a lot better. Because, like, you have actual goals to work towards in the mid-game that aren't just build up to the darkest dungeon.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
And I imagine that Color of Madness will further make the mid-game more game-like.
Mind that such missteps are the exception, and not the rule.
But after a while, it's just sort of like, there's only so much you can say about this. I'm leveling up Lobies, I'm getting treasure with the Antiquarian. I'm basically just buying time as people get quirks worked off.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
I mean, it's still pretty fun to play, and I like talking about it. It's just that I feel like I will inevitably end up repeating myself a bunch. And, you know, I don't necessarily want to do that. I want to be informative and entertaining.
Masterfully executed.
Oh, you know, if we're being honest, I didn't know that skill could inflict blight. I thought it was just AoE. That's like Count Harry, but
Great is the
good.
weapon that cuts on its own. Be gone, fiend. Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
Something that I really appreciate that they've added is the fact that the game remembers
Decimated.
which supply items do what on which curios. So you don't always have to just commit it all to memory. It will like show you if something gives you treasure or if it gives you a beneficial effect, as long as you've tested it out once. And I think that's cool. A nice little usability upgrade.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
I have 8 of these, and I do not foresee myself needing even half of them. I found Viscount's dungeon to be quite a bit easier than
As
the
the
Baron's.
light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Back to the pit. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Another one falls.
This expedition at least promises success. Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Who puts bandages and food in a treasure chest? Was that like somebody's weird medieval first aid kit?
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Free me from these detestable insects! Next time, we are definitely going to pay a visit to the Viscount and get this damn infestation under control. I'm so sick of fighting these assholes.
Eradicated.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
We got plenty, dude. Just drink it when you get thirsty. Don't make a damn production out of it every
The
time
match
you
is
want to be a
struck.
vampire.
A blazing star is born. The light, the promise of safety. Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles.
Somebody hit their blood
Paid for in
the
blood.
torch sconce. Certainly I would never think to look at it there.
Paths and roads bring soldiers and supplies. Let them arrive unharried.
Ah, great, we got desynced.
Your soldiers' minds are mired in malignancy. Fear has taken root.
Unfortunate, but I'll deal with that another time. Alright, given that we can't reasonably complete any length of mission in 5 minutes, I think we should probably call it here. Maybe see what's in store for us next time. I believe this is the first champion level boss that we'll have an opportunity to fight. And each champion boss gives a special trophy. For the hag, it's the hag's ladle, which makes you resistant to blight and more likely to inflict it. But, that's for another time. Thank you all for tuning in and watching and everything. I hope you all have a very nice evening after this. If you enjoyed, please consider hitting the follow button or any of the other buttons that are located here. I would appreciate it. Until next time.